Hey guys, it's me Stacy and I'm here with
It's Jessica.
So we're going to be talking about the do's and don'ts when it comes to being in a relationship. This is probably something that a lot of people really have like problems with and struggle with, so why not talk about it? We're kind of just going to give you guys our outlook on dating and stuff like that and what we've been through, but I'm also going to list some of my own friends who gave me some of their thoughts on dating, do's and don'ts, below on my blog post, so you guys can check that out later. Someone actually wrote me yesterday on Instagram and DM'd me saying that dating has 3 stages. So of course I decided to look it up.
3 stages, you mean like honeymoon and...
Right.
Oh, those, okay.
So there's 3 stages. So the first stage is honeymoon stage, like Francesca said. The second stage was like basically when you guys are like good, you know, you're in a comfortable position. So, you know, I feel like it's more of that, like, routine stage, which is not a good stage because that's when you start to get bored of the person. And then the third stage is basically your mind is telling you that you already know this person, you've gotten used to this person, and you pretty much should move the fuck on because you're tired of...
How do you jump from honeymoon to comfortable to move
Listen,
the fuck on? Like, that doesn't even make sense. And this is why we need to have the discussion, because I don't understand how do you jump from honeymoon to this is the person I was looking for, this is the person who I wanted to be with, this is the person who makes my fucking day amazing, to
I hate
okay
them.
damn, this shit is becoming
Whack.
okay normal, dry,
boring.
You just really didn't take the time to know the person that you're with.
So number 1, communication. Ding, 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 ding.
Problem until they are actually in a situation that involves communication.
Well, that's why you should be watching this video, because if you are that person, you need to figure out how to work on communicating. Because
you just gotta be real with yourself, and if that is something that you know you have a problem with, even though you don't want to admit it and seem like a weakling in a relationship, just keep it G with yourself and be like, yo, that's something I need to work on. Like, especially if it's something that you want. If it's something that you don't want to work on, then leave.
Basically,
don't waste time
in
in a situation where you don't want to work on.
The cameraman has another question.
Go ahead.
How about you give the viewers an insight of your communication and your relationship, so we can get a better understanding of what you mean.
Okay, so for example,
spill some tea.
I'll spill some wine. Well, for example, all right, let's say spouse is speaking to me and I am trying to explain to him my perspective and my point of view on a situation. And
Cut. We don't want hypotheticals. The viewers don't want hypotheticals. We want to know what's going on in your love life and your man that's not communicating with you, because that's the topic of discussion.
Totally understandable. I don't feel like I have the right to consent. So I like I said, it's not hypothetically speaking. I'm speaking from my perspective on a situation that happened to me.
Let's say.
Don't
we
try
know
to
what's
be
happening
that.
in Cheska's relationships.
I don't have one to talk about. So
the viewer want a realistic perspective. The viewers don't want hypotheticals.
So from a situation, that's not hypothetical, because I am
situation.
speaking from a situation that I was in the past, and that's just keeping it 100. Like,
so don't sugarcoat it. Say what happened in your situation. We want the real tea. We don't want fake tea. No, we don't know. No name dropping.
So I'm
What's
not
going
having
on? What's going on
in the situation I was in? I don't have one. So I'm telling you why I don't have one. Because we do not see eye to eye when it comes to communication. I feel a way when I am shut down because the other person has one way of thinking and doesn't want to understand or respond to what it is that I'm feeling or how I'm feeling. So that's where we clash at. Again, that's his way of communicating when it comes to he doesn't want to hear what I have to say. Is it in that moment? Is it for that moment? I can't even tell you that. And I'm keeping it, I can't tell you that. And like I don't even know.
Because you don't want to spill the tea. It's okay.
Well, I can spill tea. I don't care. I know one big thing, like I like to communicate. So one thing I do not like is when I'm talking to somebody and they take that, and this is coming from my own relationship, you take that as I'm trying to argue with you. So if I bring something up to you, it's because I'm communicating so that we can get past it, we can move forward. I'm not the type of person to hold grudge. So for me, I felt like I was having issues where every time I would bring something up, it was kind of like I was trying to start an argument. It turned into an argument because the person was thinking that's what I was trying to do when I wasn't trying to do that. I just like to communicate. I feel like if you do something and it bothers me, I'm going to tell you right now so you can stop doing it. Instead of you keep doing that shit and then eventually I'm just not going to want to be with you because you done annoyed the hell out of me.
Not hypothetically speaking, but when I'm speaking, it's hypothetically.
She was saying specifically.
Instead of getting mad and the person is not understanding, help them understand if they really.
Don't waste time. Listen, I've been in that situation. Don't waste my motherfucking time.
How about you tell us about the situation where a motherfucking...
Alright.
Say that?
Yeah.
Wasted your time.
I was talking to someone and they wasted my time. I talked to them for 2 months and, you know, the person decided that they were going to text me to cut me off. Like, you know, because they couldn't even, like, see me face to face, so they decided to text me. And
I mean, it was 2 months. It wasn't that much of a waste.
It was 2 months, right? But you know what? This is what pissed me off, right? You reached out to me. You hit me up. You tried to talk to me. Like, all of this extraness. And then it's kind of like, once you get the person's attention, it's kind of like, oh, now I'm pulling back. Like,
no, maybe you weren't what he expected.
You right.
Maybe the grass was
you know what?
But
the same way the grass was greener on the side because you damn sure did go hard somebody else.
Maybe he was just trying to hold up this image of you that he had previously.
And then once he got to know me,
and once he realized that image wasn't coming back,
that's not what he wanted. That's cool. And I'm not. Listen, whoever you are, what up? Wish you all the best in life. I don't hate you. But don't waste people's time. Like, you know, some people are not going to be like me and just get over that shit.
I'm trying to look at it like it's really not a waste of time. Maybe it's just a lesson learned. Like, honestly. Like,
it was a lesson learned.
It is.
But I still think that people should, you know, really think about it. Like, one thing I do dislike is I feel like some people don't understand, like, their emotions when they start talking to somebody. Like, some people really go hard in the beginning, like, hard, right? Then it's like when the person starts giving it a little bit. Like, how? Then you want to pull back. No, this ain't no pull back moment. This is not the time to pull back, sir. This is the time to go full force. That's what pisses me off.
But they don't want to.
Exactly. Now you want to be timid. Now you talking about, wait, hold on, slow up, hold up. What you talking about? What are you talking about? Real life. No.
Honestly, you know,
icing on the cake, but then you pop up in someone's DMs 3 years later.
From a male's perspective. From a male's perspective.
Go ahead. Yes.
So I feel everything is so fast food now that we hopping on to the next wave. That's what it is. Social media. You thinking everything. Everybody's on to the next big thing. Nothing stays the same. It's not like back in the day where people...
So you're trying to say nowadays you don't think people really want to get married because they can just keep moving?
Basically.
Yeah. Once they you know...
Well, let me know if you want to keep moving from the jump so I don't stay still. Like, again, that's stuff that if you just want someone to just go out with on trips and then come back home and live your own... Say that from the beginning. I feel like...
But I feel like when people say that from the beginning, the females don't listen.
And guys too.
No, you know what? You're
too.
right. Listening.
Oh, I don't listen. I can tell you.
I did not listen, guys.
I have very selective hearing. I hear what the fuck I want to hear when I want to hear it. And then, for example, somebody could have said something to me. Like, my ex could have probably said something to me 2 months or a year ago. And it's not until I get in that moment and be like, yeah, I remember you said that. Bitch, why the fuck you didn't remember that shit when he told you? Like, it's so true. I don't listen. And that's something that I have to work on to help me in my future relationships. Point blank, period. I don't listen. I listen to what I want to listen to and what I want to listen to.
And there, folks, is the cycle of failed relationships. Honesty, not listening to that honesty equals failed relationships.
I agree. No, I agree. I really do agree. Honest. And you know what? I think I had like this little moment this year when I started listening. Like, I started really listening. And I started really hearing stuff. And I was just like, all right, cool. And I feel like when I brought it up to, you know, the person's attention, it was just like, damn, I didn't say that. And I'm like, well, you kind of did. So did you mean it or did you not mean it? So I feel like Francesca was saying, sometimes they say things out of their mouth and then they don't hear what they're really saying.
Or you hear what it is that you're saying and you try to freaking put a cloud around it as if they did not say what it is that they said. No, baby, they said it. You got to take it
so
to
listen
heed.
to what
when
comes out of your mouth.
One thing I learned, when a man says something, they don't say it for no reason. You know how sometimes females, we speak off of emotion. So sometimes we tend to say things and we don't really mean it. We're just talking in that moment. When a guy says something, they been feeling that shit. That shit is sitting in the back of their mind. Like, they just waiting for the right moment to say it, but they're already thinking it. So when it comes out, you need to
be prepared.
Listen. He may not break your heart right then and there,
but he gonna break your heart next month, next year, 2018.
Just be like, damn, I heard that, and I should have listened, but you didn't. So next time, just listen the first time around.
I think that's been like a really big thing. Like, all of my friends that I've talked to is listening.
You, Stacey, how many disastrous relationships have you been in? And what I mean by disastrous, I mean it didn't end well. You and that person is not on speaking terms. If you see this person, you'll feel disgusted. How many relationships have you had?
Honestly, I think only one. I'm pretty cordial. Like, when it comes to my other exes, I can say hi to them. Like, you know, if they hit me up, I'll, you know, how are you doing? I'm like, I'm doing good. There was just one person who was very disrespectful.
And with that one person, do you think that one person puts a strain on other relationships that you have after that person?
Oh, no, absolutely not. It made me actually realize, because with that one person, when it ended on my part because, you know, we were young and I just felt like the person needed space. And when we did reconnect and meet up later on when we were older, you know, I was actually being genuine and really trying to make it work. And then when I realized that this person was just an asshole, as an older person, like, that's when I viewed them just differently. And I was just like, damn, like, this whole time I was thinking it was me who really made the relationship like this disaster, but it probably would have been a disaster regardless. So, nope, I don't think about them, don't dwell on it, no.
Sounds like a person impacted your life tremendously.
They didn't.
Okay. The reason I'm asking that is to say that I feel like other people's bad relationships, for example, if I was in a bad relationship, I carry that on to the next relationship.
Hypothetically speaking, or in a bad relationship that you were in?
Hypothetically speaking, I'm not the host of the show, so I'm speaking.
But we're being real, we're keeping it 100, so let's not hypothetically speak and speak from a situation.
Women bringing their past problems into new relationships.
Men do the same
Men do the same thing.
Biased.
Oh no, definitely.
You get cheated on.
Right,
Listen,
because a female did them wrong.
Everybody
got too bad.
So what do you, Stacey? What do you have to say about those issues in
I think
in a relationship?
I think it comes back to something Francesca said in the beginning, is basically being upfront and talking about your past. Now, if we talk about our past and we talk about things we've gone through, when something occurs that might trigger something, I already know
where it's coming
from. I understand where your mind processing is going, and I probably will know, should I even go there or should I just not? You know what I mean? It actually will help the relationship. So, like you said, do I think about things from the past? I was single for 4 years before I actually got into my relationship, and I do definitely feel like that time being by myself and just dating people, because that's strictly what I was doing, was just dating people, helped me a lot. It made me realize what I want, what I don't want, what I'm okay with dealing with, what I'm not okay with dealing with. And it also made me, during those moments of dating people, I realized what I did that was like, you know, probably push people away, which I was really pushy, and I made people, you know, I would, oh, you like me? Boom, like, what are we? That whole, what are we? Yeah, like.
It's the worst quote of a man.
It doesn't exist, ladies. What are we? I don't know. It doesn't exist. I had to really like look at myself, and even in my relationship now that I'm in, I remember when I first started dating, I was just going with it. But in my mind, I was just like, dog, this person's playing me. Like, I really felt it. I was just like, dang, it's been like 4 months, dog. Like, what are we?
But do you feel like you should put a time frame on a title, or should you just let it flow from the foundation of a friendship? Because I feel like that's another thing. A lot of people try to rush and put a title on things when the foundation isn't built. And I don't feel like that creates a lasting relationship if you don't have that friendship foundation. Like,
as an older person now, definitely that is my thought process when it does come to a relationship, is building the foundation of friendship and just letting it be. Like, I'm definitely over that whole what are we phase. And I feel like that also goes with you just being younger.
Especially like now at the age of like being our age, the whole expectation is when you get married, when you having a family, when you having a baby, when you moving out with whoever you with.
Well, shit, I'm just trying to find a relationship to be in.
Let's just build this foundation on what it is that we both like, what it is that we both enjoy, how it is that we're going to build. If you're not on the same page or the same accordance when it goes to that, again, it's not going nowhere. It's not going there. And no matter how much you try to force your beliefs or what it is that you want on another person, if you can't realize or understand that that's not what that person wants, you need to cut that shit off from the start. Period. Like, I feel like at this age, you're too old to be trying to compromise
and wasting
your
time.
beliefs or what it is that you want when someone clearly telling you that's not what the fuck I want. That's not what they want. So you can't force what it is that you want somebody else. Like, that's just not gonna work.
I think this is the end of our discussion. I hope you guys loved it. Let us know. Leave some responses.
Comments,
you can comment in my blog. Let us.
Action.
Do's and don'ts of relationships.
You turn it on?
We're live.
Oh shit. Hey guys.